Hello and good evening, everyone.
Yeah.
A very warm welcome to this live virtual panel discussion on the topic, the modern challenges of live streaming faced by news channels. To set some context to this, we are basically trying to understand the role of modern technology in media industry. Right, I'll just show you what today's discussion pointers are, and then I'll take it up from there. Just a second. So we're going to discuss how has the TV journalism industry changed since the technology emerged as compared to the traditional methods. What were the challenges that the news channels faced initially, and how has that changed in 2021? What are the factors that are responsible for this delay? Basically, the delay between the real-time event and the online streaming. What can be done to ensure high-quality viewing experience while also monetizing live streams? How to enhance the real-time streaming process? And how does one prepare for contingencies like breakdowns and interruptions? Finally, what tools and techniques can be utilized to create an enriching, involved, and interactive experience for the viewer? So, see, these days a very large percentage of people are watching news online because obviously internet and connectivity has changed how and where content moves. So we'll try and assess some of the major challenges basically that this news channels face while live streaming and discuss possible solutions to those challenges. On the panel today, we have Sebabita Banerjee, who heads digital at Odisha TV. We'll call him Sebo. Welcome, Sebo.
Yeah. Hi. Thank you, Rahul.
Next, we have Krishna Mandera, who is Deputy CTO of VTV Gujarati. Welcome, Krishna.
Thank you so much.
Hi, Krishna.
I'm so sorry for being late.
So we also have with us Ovais Baba, who is regional head at Limelight Networks. Hi, Ovais.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
I am Rahul Puri and I am founder and editor of Agency Reporter. To set some more context, let me begin by asking Sebo first about the impact this modern technology had on journalism, and basically what are the changes TV news industry is going through. Let's understand from Sebo first.
So the impact that has happened is that I think with the digital streaming technology, what has happened, it has at least given us the scopes for audiovisual stream to be more personal in nature. And if you go back 5 years ago or 5-6 years ago, a lot of ventures were being started up, across the globe, which took the general news, because television news has gotten into a certain template. Okay, so when digital streaming came up and all those conversational technologies or all these things were clubbed with it, so it took a more personal and conversational nature. I remember setting up the entire digital studio for a startup in Delhi back in 2014, where the entire format of their channel was discussions, and they used to play some relevant news bites, or visuals, in the back end. So quickly that stuff was, that really caught up in social media. You saw it a lot. Our television, our traditional news houses while all the time I worked in Hindustan Times, and saw that it was taking the conventional wisdoms took conventional work pattern took time to change, but slowly this caught up. But I saw that the new startups added more value to what streaming can offer, digital streaming can offer, as against the traditional players. And when I say traditional players, not just the big houses in print or digital native, some television channels also took some time to understand what can be done. But nowadays I hear from my colleagues from various places that more and more, as days go by, they are integrating their digital and and their traditional television newsrooms together. And for certain topics, they have certain streams specialized for only going to digital, and the television streams are anyway going to digital. Okay, So this has happened, and I hope the advertising technology or the advertising ecosystem also moved at this space, which apparently hasn't happened in India at least. There are certain issues which we can discuss if you are willing.
Thanks, Ebo. Uh, Krishna, help me understand that how has live streaming changed in 2021? Let's say vis-a-vis 2018 or 2017. How are the challenges different then, or were they same? Help us understand.
So first of all, I said like journalism is changed now. The initially, if we're talking that it take a time to news, there is some office, a reporter is somewhere else at position, and then they convey the news at that print where the news is printing or wherever. But right now it's fast. Okay, then people want the news fast. If the portal is not portal or some digital TV are not giving a news a current one or fast one, then the other applications like Facebook or WhatsApp. Okay, these are the main challenges for us or some other channels to represent or present the news as soon as possible to people. Okay, if we delay in that matter, then it's already spread in a WhatsApp or something else, and that the WhatsApp universities, mirch masala is already added in that, and there is a chance to that the message will not convey truly or exactly what it incident. So this is the main, I think, believe that in nowadays this is the main challenge to present the correct news through the authorized channel. I think this is the first problem to us, which we are facing. Like something like here in a sudden in a next year there is a new election in a Gujarat. So like this person will be filling that form for the seat or something else. So this would be a faster from our side.
Understood. Very well, Krishna. Thank you. Whereas one of the challenges in live streaming is when the stream reaches the user uh, with delay, right? That's one of the biggest challenge. So basically, how can news channels address this issue to ensure very high quality viewing experience while at the same time monetizing the live streams? You're on mute, OS.
That's the technology. I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was saying, any small delay is going to be a big impact to the business, and which directly impacts to declining the users and eventually the revenue for an organization. And mostly, what I will say, what matters is, from my standpoint, it's all about the quality and viewers footfall. There are video streaming technologies that solve this problem. In fact, for most live streaming applications, the desire is that the streams have the same latency as the traditional broadcast. But typically, if we say the broadcast latency is 5 to 7 seconds, and if streams are delivered with this latency, then the issue for multi-screen viewing, where the stream lags the broadcast by 30 seconds or more, that goes away. Hence, I would say the modern technology to do this is with low latency HLS or dash, you would say. So to reduce latency, the video chunk sizes are reduced to a few hundred milliseconds, or so the buffer is smaller, and the video player can start playing before an entire segment is received. There certainly are some of the advantages, I would say, like this leverages the massive seed infrastructure for delivering HLS and dash video streams, which ensures very high broadcast quality experiences. And the point which you said about monetization is, from monetization standpoint, this can support server-side ad insertion as well for stream monetization. That's my take on it.
All right, thanks, OS. So does any of my panelists today here feels the live streaming tech is very sophisticated or very complex? Sebo, you feel so?
I don't exactly feel that, but still there, what I see is that it's still, some of the technologies pieces are still very disjointed in nature. Okay. So like till now, we have to use an offline encoder for efficient transcoder for efficient transcoding, because there are cloud-based transcoding services, but which we have seen that are not as efficient. But the problem is that the moment you put I'm not a high-end technology guy, but let me explain it in my layman's term. So so the moment we put the transcoder, it another piece. And it's a physical piece, right? There are wires attached to it. So the moment you attach wires with something, it brings in some resistance. Okay, and it slows down the process. So this is one problem. Secondly, when it comes to the delay, I believe that is a major problem, especially when think of a scenario where suppose you are live streaming a sports event, okay, and where people are participating via chat, which is very common these days, right?
Right.
Right, and so as long as people are not present in the venue, they will not take much notice of what is the delay. But there are certain events that we do, right? Like a gaming event, right? A lot of gaming events are being set up in India, which is a rage in Southeast Asia, I saw. Okay, so that is where the lag actually starts showing up, and it creates a problem. So I would, so I wish that problem is resolved, because that will give us a lot of opportunity, and that will actually, if that problem is resolved, that will help us set up or plan a few programs which will be, I believe, will be properly accepted by people.
Right. Thanks, Evo. And Krishna, what do you think can be done to basically enhance this real-time streaming process?
So actually, it's depend on. I personally feel that if I want to enhance the live streaming, then first of all I need to the file size I need to smaller. But at that time I'm compromising with my quality that I don't really want to my quality. Then that is the month to maintain the quality plus speed. So at that time I need a full proper bandwidth lines. If it is possible in my area, then I definitely connect with the will connect good bandwidth lines. And then I personally believe that maintaining the live streaming is little bit difficult just because of the delay. But I'll give you one example. Like in a sports like Star Sports 1 and Star Sports 2, okay, there is a difference between 2 or 3 seconds. Okay, then definitely I switch the that channel which is giving
Yeah,
a 2 seconds. So this is the main which we have to enhance in this matter, like that without delay we have to give the news or something else, whatever we have, but we have to serve before everyone. So
Right.
for instance,
Thanks.
I have to reduce my file size first, and the bandwidth will be a good. So I can't compromise with quality. So this is the main thing I think we have to manage.
Very well, Krishna. Thank you. Oves, you've heard both the people. What do you think?
Yeah, I would say this live streaming is complex. I'm not saying no, it's not complex, but the simple answer is use the right CDN partner. Because the best way to reduce complexity in the live streaming workflow is to use the right CDN provided, to distribute live streams, because most of the CDNs have integrated solutions, I would say, to ingest live streams from the video content provider and format that video automatically to whatever viewer device requirements are. And that adaptive bitrate delivery ensures the best possible picture quality, because like I heard about the quality, I heard about different formats, there is a lag in a couple of seconds. And that adaptive bitrate delivery ensures the best possible picture quality for each viewer's internet connection. Depends on the bandwidth as well. So if anyone is considering any of the new streaming technologies that deliver low latency streaming, then I would recommend to discuss that use case in detail, which will help decide that latency will be required and whether your CDN partner supports the appropriate technology at the scale you would need. As an example, let's say our transcoding service ingests RTMP live streams. Then it transcodes them to HLS dash with 1 second size chunks and delivers them over the Limelight CDN to users with total latency of around 5 seconds. So these are some of the things on how we are removing the complexity in the live streaming world.
All right, thanks, Oves. Actually, I have received a question from the audience, and this is for you, Oves. It says low latency HLS and Dash seems to generate interest in providing low latency streaming that can match typical broadcast latency of around 5 seconds. I think this is what you were saying exactly right now. What are business benefits of using this technology?
Yeah, see, the 5 seconds of latency, it allows enhancements to stream as they are delivered, such as dynamic ad insertion to improve monetization, DRM and watermarking to protect streams from piracy or other unauthorized usage. So we have our video acceleration solution that provides the lowest possible latency for delivering standard HLS and Dash video streams. So we do provide the range of scalable low latency live streaming solutions to help solve any kind of challenges, and that kind of business benefits we do deliver.
All right, makes sense. Thanks, Oves. My next question is true for almost all tech-related functions, and it's a it's actually a frequently asked question to the CTOs. The question is that various components of broadcast are subject to breakdowns and interruptions. So how do you prepare for such contingencies? Sebo, you can go first, and then Krishna can answer.
See, we can only ensure the transcoding and CDN level, delivery up to the CDN level from our end. Okay. Now, especially for players like us who have a huge user base in the rural areas. Okay. The last mile delivery becomes a major problem, because most of the people, they would be going around with very mobile phones with very low data support or data limit, and for them, and also the data coverage in the rural areas are not as good as it's in the cities. So that is becoming a problem for us. And but at the same time, we are seeing that there is a huge exodus that is happening at this moment from traditional television channels to the online medium. That is happening. That is all the while happening, and we are seeing more and more traction that is happening for all our shows or news, live streams onto the digital platforms. So we have to somehow ensure that while we take care of the journey before the content is delivered to the CDN by any protocol, RTMP or HLS Dash or whatever, we also take care of the last mile as well. And while we talk about last mile, the CDN service providers will also have a role these days, because we would definitely we are looking for service partners who have edge servers and who have good tie-ups with the ISPs and the networks and the telcos and all that, because that is becoming extremely important for us to deliver, because our audience base stays in places where network coverage is very bad. Okay, so we need proper caching. We need proper caching in those areas, and thankfully there are some players already in the Indian market who are offering those solutions at a fairly low cost. But going ahead, we would like to see those as coming as a bundle from the CDN service providers, which in many cases is not available.
All right, Krishna, you want to pitch in?
Sir, actually, I would like to say sometimes being a negative is a good thing. Okay. Because I'm saying this just because of when I make some circuit or some design, at that time I will be a negative, and I question myself, what if this server will be down? What if my PCR will be down? What if my console is down? What if my line will be down? At that time I ask myself to question, and at that time I'll always generate a plan B at that time. Okay, if my PCR is down, then how could I manage from the studio or MCR? Okay, if my power will be down, how will I manage? Okay, if my studio is down, something happened with my lights or something, whatever. Okay, so what is the another option? The thing is, then so must go on. We can't say like audience, sorry for interruption. We have no power. Yeah, my studio is down right now, so we can't provide you a solution. News. So being a technical, we can't say no. There is always yes. Like salesperson say like, no, sir, this time the corona is here, so market is down. Our sales, we can't achieve our sales number. Okay, like news, like reporter can say like this, sir, the outside is the lockdown. The police are not allows us to cover the some news. But being a technical, we can't say no. So I have always plan B. If something happen, there is I like we have an answer. Every have that expectations. Technical can't say no. So yeah, I always a plan B from bottom to high. Like I always prefer a two ISP or two. If my one service channel internet service will be down, then I have another one. If sometimes if my synchronizer pulse synchronizers if it will down, then I can manage from the switcher or the camera. Okay, I can provide it. So yeah, I'll always be ready to say yes.
Right, that's a good answer, Krishna. But Sebo, like Krishna, do you also have certain tools and techniques that you can?
No, those things are thankfully taken care of, because we have an alternate for every stage. So we have created alternates for every stage. Like if there is no like typically, I don't need to tell you guys. Generally, all the serious broadcasters who are into the digital domain, they like for uplinking, we have one service provider, and we have a backup by another service provider, and maybe we have another line. Okay, so generally, we have our transcoder setup is like, if one transcoder goes down, then it and that's a very old technology. I should not even talk about it. It automatically switches to the next one, right? And then if it fails, then it switches to the next one. So these are taken care of. But what I told you from the business point of view is the one that we are actually mulling on. That how do we make sure, because we are selling subscriptions, right? We will be selling subscriptions very soon on our entertainment channels. And so how do we make sure? And Odisha is a state where there is where power cut is a reality. Serious power cuts happen here. Okay. So one of our major selling point for our entertainment channel and news is that if you have a power cut, and this is a very strong, very strange USP, which I don't think many other players use. So we would like to say, if there is a power cut, catch it on your mobile. Getting my point, right? So when we are going to the market with that language, with that communication, we have to make sure that whatever the bandwidth, the content plays. Okay, so that's why I give so much of importance on the last mile delivery. Because see, anyhow, a standard player like ours, we take care of the delivery up to the CDN. That much we take care of. We have proper system for that. But the last mile is not entirely in the hand of us.
All right, fair enough. So OVAS as Limelight, what is it that you guys can offer CTOs of media companies like Odisha TV, VTV Gujarati, and other media companies which are in the serious business of live streaming? What is it that you can offer so that their audience has an enriching and interactive experience?
So Rahul, Krishna outlined it very well that as a best practice to prepare prior to the live event, do testing of delivery networks to be sure failover works properly. That's very, very important. And I would say this is a typical question, which we come across almost every day while working with our customers in the live streaming space. Because live streaming, events using CDNs for stream distribution can minimize disruptions by leveraging features built in, such as redundant stream ingest and having robust CDN infrastructure that has that redundancy in the network architecture with multiple network paths between ingest and egress points. So most organizations that do a lot of live streaming deploy multiple CDNs and load balance traffic across the CDNs. If there is any issue with one of the CDNs, then all the traffic will use the remaining CDNs. That's exactly what the failover, what Krishna was also saying about, having that backup always ready. And another point which I want to make here is to make sure that you are delivering on the quality side, which is the formats that the mobile or desktop clients need, which is having HLS, Dash, or MSS for that matter. So, to make sure that your ingest stream is of a high enough quality so that there is enough resolution to support the type of quality that you want. And that And that actually differs with the type of events, because different events have different nature. For most events, you want a high bitrate in just stream so that it can be translated down for mobile clients and viewing on a smaller device and maintain that quality. So preparation with a large infrastructure capacity to support the scaling up of the business is definitely the key.
Right, Oves. I actually have one more question from the audience. And this one again is for you, Oves. What are some advantages of using the transcoding and transmixing capabilities of CDN video workflows? You want to take that up?
Yeah, sure. That's an important one. I think, these CDN services are built in for handling large scale stream demand during live events, which are unpredictable. We don't know exactly how users' footfall will be there. So having that robust capability to support unexpected spikes in the number of viewers means you can accommodate the growing audience size. So the CDN device detection, it ensures the correct formatted video is delivered to all the viewers for the best possible experience as well. It keeps the audience engaged and coming back to more. Now, with respect to transcoding and transmixing, we have a solution where we provide cloud-based transcoding of live video streams into multiple bit rates and on-the-fly transmixing into different formats. So that cloud-based transcoding and transmixing, where we offload computationally complex tasks from the environment and simplifies the process of delivering the correct video format to every user devices, whether they are on a lower bandwidth, they are on a higher bandwidth. So we do that on the fly. I hope that answers the question from the audience.
I think yes, Oves. So yeah, I don't think there are any other audience questions, but if there are any audience questions, please message us and we'll take that up. But meanwhile, we'll take closing remarks from Sebo and Krishna, both of you. Sebo, any closing remarks from your side?
The closing remarks will be, though we are discussing mostly on the technology stuff, but I would suggest that, we all, at least the media players, like Krishna, we have to find out a way to make proper revenues out of the live streams. Because as I was telling you in the beginning, that traditionally, between VODs and live streams are the ones that doesn't make much of money, at least in terms of news. Because most of the programmatic technology and all other technologies that work better on the VODs, where the videos come with a definite length. Secondly, the dynamic ad insertion that both of you have mentioned. Now so this is a technology that we also use to mask our television advertisements and to insert digital advertisements where we need. Now the point is that the advertising ecosystem is not yet prepared to do that kind of digital advertising, because in most of the times the feedback that we hear is that is not purely a digital advertising, because it has to be scheduled as against programmatically delivered the impressions on the networks. But if you look deeper into it, that is probably the only meaningful way of delivering ads onto the live streams. So Indian advertising ecosystem, they have to really recognize it as a potential revenue stream or a potential marketing way. This is it. At the same time, I would say that if, as I mentioned, that I still feel that, though I always say that, it's a question of right CDN provider, but in many cases, the CDN costs go too high since we don't earn much of money from the revenues. So we have to put together certain pieces of technology into one place and create our own solution. So I hope that we get quality CDN solutions at a lower cost. that much I can say from somebody who wears the business hat, and that's it. But I think, yeah, with HLS Dash, the heavy file, small file problem has, to large extent, has been resolved. It's doing well, and the last mile delivery has to be ensured. That is very important.
Thanks, Sebo. Krishna, for you, I have an audience question which can be treated as your closing remark. Someone wants to know, how can live broadcasts help in creating a personal relationship with your viewers?
Trustable news is the only way to connect with our audience. Like, this is the only one motto, like authorized and trustable news. I don't want to mess up with any news. So as I am a technical member, technical person, so only the one thing I always believe in myself, always update ourselves, because the people's demands will be a change every time. Like, initially the people used to about the newspaper, then the TV. Right now nobody has a time to sit front of the TV and check the news. Now technology are of VOD. We don't know what is the next, but I always prepare update myself. So wherever it need, I'll update myself, and I serve it best of my that this is the only way through I can connect with my audience.
Right. Thank you so much, Krishna. Oves, any closing remarks from your side?
Yeah, I mean, I think the most important thing is having the right tools in place, because live streaming, like that was the first statement which I made, it is complex, but with having the right tools and the techniques that can be utilized to create some enriching experience and interactive experience as well, because sometimes viewer audience interaction is very, very important. And in order to include viewer audience interactions, a different low latency streaming technology must be used, because for live interaction to work well, stream latency will need to be less than 1 second. That's exactly what the modern technology is all about. So having this enriching experience for the viewers, what we are doing is, in terms of technology, I would say we are using WebRTC that can meet this sub-second requirement as well, and which helps to reduce the latency. We use a different protocol which is used to stream the video. So instead of TCP or HTTP, UDP is used. So there is no buffering on the receiving end and no acknowledgements. Video quality is managed by adaptive bitrate. So it's important that the CDN partner have the dedicated staff as well. That's very, very important, because having large events in the media space, in the OET space, or in live streaming, being in the news space as well, there has to be a right set of staff who monitor the events and the streams, who, the ingest, etc. Because among the staff, there has to be well-defined, while having this partnership, there needs to be well-defined advanced solution architects, advanced services architects, because for major events, the architects will be on the bridge, all communicating and passing back what they see, so that actions can be taken preemptively if an issue arises. So in net, having the right partnership with the CDN, I think certainly talk to people, see exactly what they are doing, and give also maybe Limelight an opportunity, talk to our people, see exactly, we'll bring about solution architects or solution engineers who can talk about our technology, what we have been doing, how we are closely working in the customers in the similar space.
Sure, Oves, and I really think this was a wonderful, insightful discussion. Discussions like these help us find solutions that could possibly redefine live streaming. The modern consumer of news today would only expect more and more interaction and involvement from our side with the information that they are being subjected to, right? And with consensus, I can conclude today that the evolution of technology and sophisticated tools only will help the industry to meet these expectations without compromise on either the viewer's experience or the revenue. So special thanks to the audience and my best wishes to all three of you, Sebo, Krishna, and Oves. Good night. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.